Hey everyone, Harrison Siemens, Victoria Realtor here. Today I want to talk about something that's flying under the radar right now. Why there are so few pre-sale condo development opportunities happening in Greater Victoria. Why municipalities are seeing very few new applications, and what that means for the market over the next few years. Right now, the reality is this. Condos are oversupplied in the short term. We've had a wave of completions from projects that were recently launched in the last few years when financing was cheap and demand was strong. Those units are hitting the market at the same time demand has cooled. As a result, the absorption is super slow. Prices are under pressure in subsegments, and developers are simply not selling enough units to justify launching new condo projects. When condo sales slow down, development really grinds to a halt. Across Greater Victoria, there are virtually no major condo ownership projects starting construction right now, and very few applications moving through municipalities. What is being built almost exclusively, which you see pretty much everywhere in Greater Victoria, are purpose-built rental buildings. Developers can make rentals work because they rely on long-term income and government or institutional financing. Condos rely on strong pre-sales, and those just aren't there today. Now, there are a few key reasons developments have slowed so dramatically. First off, higher interest rates over the last couple of years have made construction loans expensive and pre-sales harder to achieve. Buyers are also quite cautious right now, especially investors that would be looking to rent out those units. Construction costs, they remain elevated. And then there's also the municipal fees, timelines, and uncertainty with rezoning applications, development permit applications that developers ultimately have to go through to build. But most importantly, developers aren't going to build unless they can sell those units. So even though we need housing in the long term, the math for new condo projects just doesn't pencil out right now. But here's the most important part. Yes, condos are oversupplied right now, and realistically, it could take another couple of years for the supply and demand to fully rebalance. But here's the catch. Because almost no new condo projects are being launched today, there's very little ownership supply coming 3, 4, 5 years down the road when these would hypothetically be built. If population growth continues or rebounds, because we've seen a bit of a dip over the last year, interest rates ease a bit more, and demand returns, there's a real possibility Victoria swings back into an undersupplied condo market again. That's how the real estate cycles work. They tend to overshoot in each direction. For buyers, this creates an interesting window. In the short term, you have more choice and pretty good leverage with your negotiation power. And in the long term, the lack of future supply could support values once demand picks back up again. Now, understanding where we're at in this cycle is really key. So, what do you think happens next? Do condos stay oversupplied, or do we flip back into a shortage eventually? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to reach out. And if you're trying to decide whether buying now or waiting makes sense for you, in Victoria, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help and discuss a bit further. Thank you.